Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mindful Mondays. And today we're going to talk about scarcity and abundance and the law of attraction. And first, we're going to start off with a quote from Marianne Williamson, who happens to be one of my favorites. Nothing binds you except your thoughts, nothing limits you except your fear, and nothing controls you except your beliefs. And that's so true as we go through the law of attraction of scarcity and abundance. And last week, we were talking about the I am statements and how I am activates what's already inside of you that already exists, and it signals that you're ready to receive it. Basically, an I am statement collapses the future into the present because you're saying that I am ready and I know it already exists and all I have to do is activate it. Now, that would be opposed to what we were talking about last week, like a I wish statement. You know, an I wish statement is kind of contingent. It pushes what you want further away as it kind of chases the future by signaling, I'm not really ready yet, as opposed to an I am, which is I am ready, okay? I am already this, whatever this is. When I say I wish, really what I'm saying is it's contingent upon certain events, it's far off in the future, I'm kind of chasing it. And so when we start talking about abundance and scarcity and law of attraction, there's a concept that, to be straight with you, it took me a while to kind of sort out. And it's the asking for or asking of. And so here's the difference. When I ask for something, I'm sending a signal that it doesn't exist. In other words, I'm working towards it, but I am not of it, okay? Which is much like an I wish type statement. So when I'm asking of something, the signal is that it already exists, and I'm coming from the place of it already being complete. And again, you're basically collapsing the future into the present. Now, if we combine the I am and the of, what we're saying is, by an example, I am of good health. That means I am presently that way. It means that's how I am feeling, okay? You have to match the feeling with the words. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. So law of attraction, obviously everyone's heard of it. Certainly gets enough play. We'll talk a little bit about the book at the end. But the law of attraction is the ability to attract in our lives whatever we're focusing on. And we've talked about this a lot, is that thoughts become things. All thoughts turn into something eventually. And really the law of attraction is about aligning your thoughts, your feelings, and your desires, having them all aligned together and holding them there and being consistent with them. And you know, you hear expressions like, oh, he got up on the wrong side of the bed, or I got up on the wrong side of the bed. You know, you stub your toe in the morning, and then it sets the rest of the day, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. But that's because you've allowed that to happen, okay? It doesn't mean that the day has to go that way. So if we start the day off, we stub our toe, and then the rest of the day kind of puts us in a bad mood, well, then we're gonna own that mood for the rest of the day, and the signals we send out are exactly what we're gonna get back. If we're going to send out bad mood signals, we're going to get bad mood signals back into us. And that's how it works. So we are basically magnets. And as we send out signals, it's what we get back. Basically, everything is a mirror, everything is a reflection. So our life around us is a reflection. If we're thinking abundantly about everything, then we're going to have abundant lives. If we're thinking about abundance about certain things, but maybe not others, well, then the others won't be abundant, but the other ones will be, the ones that we're thinking about. And it's not really a mystery. Everybody kind of looks at it as being the law of attraction, as being this huge mystery, but it's really kind of hidden in plain sight. It's simply a matter of sending out the right signals, because whatever signals you send out are the ones you're going to get back, and making sure that everything is on alignment. Now, here's critical piece, okay? Just because you're happy on the outside, okay, it doesn't work if you're not happy on the inside. Happy on the inside is more important, because that's where the signals are coming from. That's where you're signaling that I'm ready to receive, and that I'm grateful. If I send out more grateful emotions and all that, then I'm going to get more gratitude back from other people. That's what the alignment, that's how the alignment works. And it's really not any more or less complicated than that, but you have to be mindful about it. Now, we're all brought up and socialized in the Western world, which means it's a materialistic world. And not in the form of consumer goods, but in materialism, in that we are socialized to believe in what we can see and touch and hear. And I want to give you some proof about why how you can tell the law of attraction is working with you or around you. Whatever it is you like and that you enjoy doing, you do more of it and you're more successful at it. Now, that's because you're sending the signal out how much you enjoy it, and what you're getting back is more energy around what you're doing. And so typically the more we enjoy things, the more we do them. The more we do things, the better off we get at them. And so when you take a look at somebody who might enjoy their golf game, which is hard for me to relate to because I'm not a golf player. But if somebody who likes golf, well, they might play a lot, and maybe they do tournaments, or maybe they have a competitive group of golf buddies, and that they go out and they get a better score all the time because it's what they like to do. And when you're doing what you want to do and what brings you joy, then you're going to get more of that back. And you can look around at almost anything. It could be woodworking, it could be your actual work, where I love my work so much, and so much of it comes from my heart, and that's what I send out. And then in the framework of your work, that's what you get back. And so when you look around and you want proof for how the law of attraction works, it's really all around you. It's really everywhere. And it's with you, it's with your family, it's with your friends, it's with your coworkers. And all you have to do is be a little observant, and you'll see it right in front of you. So the next part is allowing. So, once you've got yourself in alignment, right, your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, you're in alignment for what you want. And that's the signal that you're sending. It's important that you create the space and allow the abundance to come to you. Now, a lot of times when we're in uncharted space that we've never been before, uncharted, a lot of times what we'll end up doing, and we all do it, is that we'll go back to our past and we'll take a past experience and we'll drop it into the unknown space that we're currently in. It's one of the reasons why I have this blank chalkboard here, is that the only person who can define a future outcome is you. Now, if you choose to take a past experience and drop it into a future blank space, then that past experience now fills that blank space, and now you've created an outcome which is similar to an outcome that you had in the past. Good, bad, or indifferent. And so in that blank space, you're the only one, okay, who can create that outcome. And then in the creation of that outcome is how you're allowing the abundance to happen. So once you're in that space where your thoughts, feelings, and emotions are in alignment, and things are starting to come to you that you want, okay, then it's a matter of saying, oh, okay, now I'm going to allow this to happen because I can visualize what my life will be like when this thing, whatever it is, it happens. I'm feeling it, and then it's filling that space. And a lot of times what will happen is that people will take fears and anxieties, and again, we've all done it, from their past, and they'll drop it into future events before they've even occurred. And then that blocks the allowing and the abundance. So I love this quote from Thomas Edison. He said, "I haven't failed, I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." And he's referencing is making the incandescent light bulb. And so it took him 10,000 tries to make the incandescent light bulb, but he held a vision. And to do something 10,000 times, you got to be committed. And doesn't mean you might not be frustrated at times, but you've got joy in your heart about making sure that I'm going to succeed at this. And so I love that quote just because it talks about perseverance, and it talks about holding that vision about completing something. And he didn't fill the blank space with "I'm going to fail." He filled it with "I'm going to succeed." So next, we've got 5 practices for abundance and law of attraction. So first is write down what you want more of. I want more money, I want more family time, I want better health, whatever it is, write it down. Next, practice of being aware of your thoughts. It's a practice to be aware of your thoughts. So if you're having a thought of, I'll never be as good of a golfer as so-and-so, okay? You have to be aware of that thought. You have to be aware of the thought before you replace it. Then the next thing is that make sure that your thoughts are in alignment with the outcome you desire. So as you're having a thought that maybe is not in alignment, okay, first thing is be aware that you're not in alignment. And then the second thing is make sure that you replace it with a thought that is in alignment. And allowing, I'm on the fourth one now. Now, allowing also is the deliberate shift of your thoughts into a state as if you've already completed it, as if I'm already there. And you know, a lot of athletes do that. They kind of visualize themselves through the event. You know, gymnasts, runners, right? They can envision themselves crossing the finish line. And that's what you want to be able to do. You want to be able to garner that feeling of that I've accomplished it. And then lastly, you want to track how you're doing. And as your thoughts have been shifting, you want to track, you want to be able to track how you're doing with it and what feelings are working, and making sure that you're measuring that if I'm feeling a certain way, I want to do more of that, because that's what's going to get me more of what I want. So those are 5 tips for you, and they're super simple. And but you know, write all this stuff down. It really helps, right? Keep a journal and write all this down. Then lastly, some recommended works. So the movie, The Law of Attraction, there's obviously the book, which everyone's heard of. I think the movie's better than the book. The movie interviews the same people who are in the book, but it's more interactive dialogue. You can just feel the energy and enthusiasm from the folks that were in the book as they're explaining, you know, their perspective about things in the movie. And then the other book I'm going to recommend is The Alchemist. It came out in the early 90s, very popular, and but it's basically about kind of a young boy's journey and how he finds the law of attraction and abundance on the journey that he has. So it's been really great to spend time with everybody, and thanks a lot. Have a great week.